Alrighty, in this video we are going to be creating a progress view based on a certain set of criteria and a series of formulaic outputs using Notion Formulas 2.0. I have these two basic databases, tasks and projects, where tasks are related inside projects and tasks have a status, a checkbox, a forecast number, and a score number. And I just have some arbitrary statuses, forecasts, scores, and checkboxes in this example so that we can get started right away. We're going to get started by using the old way of using rollups with the task relationship. And I'm going to just start with rollups so that we can start to illustrate the biggest differences between rollups and formulas, how much easier it is now to manipulate formulas without having to depend on rollups. I think a good way to think about rollups are that they are just default configurations to manipulate database entries based on a relationship. So if you're looking for a customized approach to a progress view, I highly recommend using a formula and weaving in several layers of formula code to create your own unique and customized automated progress view. Let's get started here. Again, when you use rollup, you can just select the property in which you want to do it. Right, we can get sum, median, all of these pretty helpful numbers with the score specific properties. With statuses, we can count per group, percent per group, stuff like that. Checkboxes, we can do count all, checked, unchecked, show all that stuff. And so for percent complete, if we do a percent per group, we can show ring, and then we can also use that number to show how many complete. And in this case, we have 33%. If we do this, 60, 100. So that's a pretty helpful rollup. In today's example, we're going to try to go a little further, and we're going to try to create a summary in which we can say the sum of the forecasts are this, the sum of the scores are this, perhaps what your total score to forecast ratio is, as well as how many are checkboxed, how many might be done, and so on and so forth. These rollups are really handy if you know what you're looking for and you know they exist within a default configuration. But otherwise, I would sort of lean into trying to learn Notion Formulas 2.0 like you will in this video so that we can get started here. So we are going to create a formula, and let's say for this example we want to account for tasks in which the checkbox has been ticked. We only want to account for a certain forecast or score when a checkbox has been checked or not. Again, like I've started in my other videos, we always start with the relationship. In this case, it's going to be tasks. We're going to filter based whether a checkbox is empty or not. So we don't want it to be empty, so we're going to do exclamation point empty, dot notation, specify that property, checkbox, and then close it again. And now we can see which of these entries is checkboxed. So if we do that, we see that. Now everything is checkboxed, so on and so forth. In this case, we can just see the name of it, but because we want to see the number, perhaps, or how many of the tasks out of this project are complete, we can specify by number, say dot length, open and close. So we have one. So it's just saying one task. Now what we can do with that is how many of these tasks exist within this project, which is also helpful. So what we can say is there are, add that text, plus, and then space to add that space between the number, tasks out of, and then we're specify the total tasks in another formula, but before that we can add that other text, total tasks for this project. We're going to specify another formula to specify the total tasks that are part of this project. And so what we can do is copy, paste it. Because we're doing total tasks, just do tasks. There are 1 tasks out of 3 total tasks for this project that are checkboxed. So notice how we did that, where first specified the condition and the number in which we want to measure something by, and then we said out of how many in total there are. And now we can add some helpful text with the quotation marks and say there are blank tasks out of blank total tasks for this project that are checkboxed. That's pretty nice, pretty neat. Notice how if we create a new entry, this is still there, right? It auto appears. In this case, we want to add a condition. Tasks are not empty. We'll show it, but otherwise it's going to be empty. So now when we create a new one, nothing appears. So we need to link a task, and now it automatically shows. So real quick, I just did the ifs function. In case we had other conditions, I just used the ifs instead of if. I specified the condition where tasks have to be not empty for this output to appear, and otherwise 2 quotation marks to signify that it'll be empty otherwise. So that's one way of showing the same thing. 66% is one way to show it. This is another way to sort of output. Now if we go to gallery, we show that property board, we get this nice output. There are 1 tasks out of 3 total tasks for this project that are checkboxed. Now we don't even have to look at anything else, and we can use this view in other parts of our dashboard if we wanted to get started. I'm going to create another formula and build on this. So next, let's take sum of forecasts and score and output it in another formula field. In this case, just use the map function and reference the tasks, comma, current, dot. Let's do the score first. Notice how we list an array of numbers, and if you look closely, it just outputs all the scores here into a convenient list array. And so a convenient way to total everything up is use another dot notation of dot sum, open parentheses, close parentheses, and we have a convenient total of 189. Now if we add another line, do the same thing. Let's do that. So tasks current dot forecast. Now it looks kind of funky because it's adding the sum 189 and then combining it with this array. What we can now actually do is dot sum, and now because I've added them up through here, I'm going to divvy it up by doing forecast of and adding some output text, total score of, add a new plus, add a plus. So total score of 189 and a forecast of 225. That's a really easy way to add a total to a relationally specific database entry like we've illustrated here between tasks, projects. And again, we're seeing this output even when there's no tasks. So we're going to create that ifs function. If it's not empty, we want to show this. And then if it is, end the very bottom with a comma, 2 quotation marks. Now it disappears because tasks are empty. Here it's not, that's why we show it. So now we have tasks that are checkboxed out of all that are part of project, and we can also show the total score and total forecast for all the task entries. Let's go a little further and let's create that condition where if it's checkboxed, then we can add the score, and we'll do that also for forecasts. So in our case, we're going to have to do a few things here, right? We have to create that filtered criteria and then output based on a score, and then create a sum of that score and then divide it by the total to get sort of a score to forecast ratio that we're hoping for. We're basically going to combine these 2 things together, but in a more advanced formula function using the map function again. So we're going to map tasks in a certain way. So we're going to map task and we're going to filter it based on when the checkbox is not empty, and we want to show it as the score. That's the ultimate goal here. In our case, because there's only one number that's checkbox, it's 69, but if we add another one, again, it becomes a list or an array of numbers, which is just a fancy way of saying that it's a list of numbers separated by a comma, and it's one of those universal elements in code that you don't necessarily need to know about, but I would sort of understand the difference between a list, right? Comma separated list versus just a singular number. In our case, we want to take that dot notation again and do sum. So now it'll take the sum of scores that have a checkbox. So it's going to do 35 and 69, which is 104. And what we also want to do now is we want to take that ratio of score to forecast to get that sort of standardization of score to forecast across all of our entries. In this case, we can almost copy this exact thing, but changing one variable, just the score to forecast. So now it's quickly become a decimal. It's always going to be, well, not always, but in most cases it's going to be between 0 and 1, and occasionally between 1 and 3 if you have some radical outliers. Anyways, that was a pretty convenient decimal, 0.839. Now because we have this decimal, and we know that we want to use it as sort of a ratio similar to a percent like we have here, we can add this formula, number format, and go to percent. And look at that, it's conveniently converted our decimal into a percent. We can add that bar, and we have this number that takes the total of checkbox scores divided by the total of forecasted scores under task entries for each project. Because this is numerical output, we can also add text, and had to add that ifs every time, but no biggie. It takes about 2 seconds And once you do it a few times, it becomes a no-brainer, right? You don't want to show outputs when there's nothing entered here. Now we have that total score to forecast checkboxed. We lose that progress bar because we added that text. So if we want to reverse that, we just take that text out and that if condition still works. So if you create a new one, nothing appears. If we were to sort of proceed with a combination of these things, in this case, these two numbers are separate because this is saying total scores in general, while this is saying total scores based on a checkbox criteria filter. And as you can see, we can sort of start to create a summary dashboard of all your related tasks through a convenient project view. If we open this one, there's nothing. All formulas are blank because we have those conditional ifs about having tasks that are not empty. So something that you run into sometimes is really long fractional numbers. So I just changed a few numbers there and look at that decimal place. Not a great sight, right? We don't need to see 15 digits of these really small numbers. And so a really great way to bypass this is by using the round function. And then we obviously need to close it. But before we do that, we need to multiply the total by 100, close that, and then divide it by 100. It's sort of counterintuitive, but that is how the rounding works because we have to decide how many decimal places we want to think about rounding it by multiplying by 100 or 1,000. In this case, if we want 1 decimal place, we do 1,000. If you want 2, you do 10,000. And reminder, we're closing the round after we multiply the end by 10,000. And then dividing it by 10,000 so that we manufacture that rounding of this to that. Something people can kind of get frustrated over. So obviously this is very elementary, this is very rudimentary, but this is a really great way to think about and start to think about the manipulation of all your properties through sort of a more filtered lens, through the combination of ifs and map and filter criteria to create these more nested, specific, constrained reporting systems and summary dashboards like we did here. Maybe this isn't really similar to what you might use Notion for, but again, I hope that the use of these formulas through the filter, through the length, through the combination of these text elements, and through these ways of illustrating the basic sums, and then from also performing calculations that are rounded at a specific decimal point, and also specifying the constraint in which you want to measure it, and then also summing it in relation to it something else, and then saying if it's empty, just mark it as empty like that. So even if I create a new one, because there's no tasks that are related, these outputs don't happen. And if I were to add a new task, these outputs automatically appear. Added task 4. Now if I add a forecast of 51 and a score of 47, and then if I do the sum, looks like I was 92% within my forecast when it came to my score. There are one task out to one total task for the products that are checkboxed. Very responsive. Once you create it, you don't have to think about it, but these are the sort of views that you can start to sort of add progressively into other parts of your summary workspace or your homepage. I hope you gained something out of this video. Thanks for watching.